Hello. Um, it's Sunday morning, and I decided to make a video about a YouTube video that a friend of mine texted me to tell me to watch. And in this video is from a YouTube channel called Elizabeth Curry. Um, Elizabeth Curry is a woman who lives in Russia, and the title of her video is Life in Russia Compared to US. In this video, she makes comparisons between Russia and the US. I've written down what she said. I saw the video like 2 times, and I listened to it in radio form. Well, actually, I watched the video for the first time, then I watched it the second time, then I listened to it in radio form. So I went back, rewatched the video, and took down notes with everything Elizabeth Curry said in this video. I did my best to write down what she was saying, but yeah, I did my best to write down what she was saying, and her English wasn't that great. Her English was kind of broken. It was hard for me to understand what she was saying, and plus she did a lot of editing. But yeah, the video. The video was like all over the place, but I could understand what she was saying. And it was a good video, but it was all over the place because her English wasn't that great, and I did my best to jot down and write down everything she said, and I got everything that she written down, and here it is on paper. Elizabeth Curry. Life in Russia compared to US. Okay. Here's some comparisons on paper. Number 1, free healthcare. The healthcare is free in Russia. If you have to pay a little bit more money, it is not very expensive if you compare that to America. For example, I recently had my blood tested, and I paid $5 for that. It was absolutely clean. People weren't rude to me, and everything was perfect. Yes, the equipment wasn't new. We had no problems going to their doctor and not having enough money because it's free. I met a family in America who couldn't take their son to the doctor, to hospital. That is insane in Russia. We couldn't imagine such a thing. And I got some things written down on the side for that. From a video from a YouTube channel from Bernie Sanders. And it's about a woman who is from America living in the UK, and here's her healthcare story. Here's a healthcare story about the UK's National Health Service, or NHS, compared to the American healthcare system. An American woman is studying in the United Kingdom after studying. Let me start over again. And an American woman is staying in the United Kingdom after studying abroad there because the cost of health care is too expensive for her to move back home. Okay. Here's her what she's saying about healthcare in the UK and healthcare in America, in her story of why she's living in the United Kingdom. I'm from the United States. I now live in the United Kingdom. I grew up living with type 1 diabetes. I paid quite a lot for my insulin and my supplies and all the things that I need. When I graduated from college, I was off my parents' insurance at the time. This was before the Affordable Care Act kicked in. I had to pay a lot of money to be added onto my dad's insurance. I was paying about $1,000 out of pocket every month. Eventually, I got accepted to a master's degree program in the United Kingdom. Just being a student here for 6 months allowed me to take advantage of the healthcare system. I was covered under the National Healthcare System, or National Health Service, the NHS. I went to the pharmacy and I picked up my prescription that I didn't have to pay a huge amount for. And that was just really mind-blowing to me. I don't think I'll ever forget that experience. I was just filled with gratitude, and I owe of the simplicity of it as well. In the UK, the whole population is covered by the National Health Service, NHS, which is financed through general taxation and run by the Department of Health. And this is what a UK doctor is saying about the NHS. Nobody pays a doctor's bill on the NHS. People will go their entire life without paying a single upfront cost. Okay, this is from the American Woman. People who live in the UK, they pay their taxes, so they're supporting the healthcare system, but then they are supported themselves. You don't have to battle with insurance companies. You don't have to spend hours thinking about your coverage and where and how you're going to get your essential medicine. Okay, this is from another UK doctor. He's a surgeon on the NHS. UK doctor. When patients come to us, let me start over again. This is the UK doctor. When patients come to us, we only evaluate them from the point of view of their need. The cost never comes into it. As a surgeon, I love that because it means the focus is on the care that I can deliver. Okay, this is back from the woman who lives in the UK, who's an American. I'm lucky enough to be able to still live here in the UK, and I'm just always blown away by those costs. I've also been dealing with thyroid cancer this year, and I know that the cost to me back in the US would just be astronomical for my type 1 diabetes, for my cancer treatment. Okay. This is what two conservative Republican congressmen are saying about the health care. It's two of them. Both of them are from Texas, and I think I have some Texas subscribers who subscribe to my channel. Maybe they know these two. Okay, here's the first congressman. His name is Louie Gomer, and I know him. He represents the district where I live in eastern Texas, and this is what he has to say about the American healthcare system. We have the best health care that could ever be found in any time in history, anywhere in the world. Here's Congressman Michael Burgess. I'll say it. America has the best health care system in the world. And this is from the woman who lives in the UK, who is from the US, who is an American. It really just blows me away that people can say that America has the best healthcare system in the world. It's such a myth that's perpetrated. Having experienced the NHS here in the UK, it's not perfect, but I would take it any day over what we have in the US, which is complete inequality, complete unaffordability for so many people. If you're wealthy and can afford it, you'll get it. And if not, you might die, and that's really terrifying. Okay, back to the back to Elizabeth Curry on the comparison between Russia and the US. Okay. Number 2, free education. The education quality is really high. By the way, Russia has the highest rate in literacy. Almost 53% of the population has tertiary education. It is estimated that 95% of adults in Russia have higher secondary education, and the country spends some 4.9% of GDP on education. What is the literacy rate in the United States? According to a study conducted in late April by the U.S. Department of Education and the National Institute of Literacy, 32 million adults in the U.S. can't read. That's 14% of the population. 21% of adults in the U.S. read below a 5th grade level, and 19% of high school graduates can't read. What am I going to do in this country? Nobody can't read there.
And it just said driver license. Like, that sounds so stupid. I mean, it's like someone who came up with that, like, been in special ed all their life. I mean, I think someone who came up with that needs to go back to school.
Number 3, days off. I love having holidays. I love having days off. I love traveling and having my private time. If you look at statistics, that is amazing and astonishing. In Russia, work is entitled to 28 calendar days. We love having our days off. We have people traveling every year somewhere. You look at American people, they don't travel and they don't have any days off. 77 of private employers are from paid vacation, but some employers don't even offer any vacation. I met a lot of Americans who told us that they didn't have any days off or vacations for like 10 years. They are hamsters in a wheel.
I've only been to a few other states. I've never even flown. I've only been to states within driving distance of Texas. I'm a homebody. I've never really wanted to travel much.
I only travel once a year, but I've never been out of the country. We travel when on vacation. I work a lot, so does my husband. Still, only 36% of Americans hold a valid passport, according to the State Department, compared to 60% of passport holding Canadians and 75% for Brits and Aussies. That means almost 70% of us Americans are unqualified for international travel. That's from an American who's saying this. That's not from the Russian woman. And this is added into that 70% don't travel. This is from the Russian woman. Another thing is that in America, people don't really travel. I noticed that they have traveled a little bit inside the U.S. They didn't have anywhere in Europe. Christmas holidays are 10 days in Russia. Number 4, job opportunities. I have a lot of job opportunities that I can do in this country and don't think that I am interested in. Don't think that I am interested in. I feel like I am more of a professional and I am appreciated in my home country of Russia, and the same goes to my husband who is an American. He is appreciated more in Russia than in his motherland, where he is just an American and he is more liked in Russia. In the US, he is an American and I am like Russian. In Russia, I am Russian and he is an American. Number 5, the next thing is going to shock you. Freedom. Do we have more freedom in Russia than you in America? Do you have the freedom of speech, saying that you don't want to serve the gay person? The freedom of speech is quite restricted in your country. Also, the freedom of a Christian person. Does a Christian person have the freedom to see gays walking around in the street and kissing each other? I don't feel that in Russia. In Russia, I feel that you have the freedom of being homosexual if you really want to, but you are not allowed to show your preference in public. Also, there is this little box of restrictions. Restrictions here. You can't swim here. You can swim here at this inn. You can swim at this little inn at the area of a pond. Am I a child or am I retarded? Can I understand my responsibility on where I am going to swim or if I'm going to drown? Number 6, morality. Christian values. I want to live in a country with Christian values. I would like to live in a country where people value Christian values. I would like to live in a country where morality stays under a higher rate, abortions are not permitted, and nobody talks about allowing women to abort a child at ninth month. Homosexuality is unaccepted by the majority of people, and also smoking weed. Weed is prohibited in Russia. I never met a person in the US who has never tried smoking weed. I met a lot of people who have not tried smoking weed. Okay, and that's it. Yeah. I'm going to talk about the Christian morality thing. It seems to me, in the U.S., people who are Christians are just, are just blinded by people like Elliot Rodgers, George Soudini, and Nicholas Cruz, who lose it and go on mass shootings. I mean, they just go on mass shootings all the time. They just go on mass shootings, and they lose it because they want companionship from the American women, and the American women are just cold, unfriendly, and just dead. I mean, and I felt this at a grocery store. I mean, I went to a grocery store in Tyler, Texas, called Audie's, and it's a grocery store that has cheaper prices, and you can buy things at a cheaper price there. I went inside, and there's these shopping carts. They're all locked. They are locked together, and they have a coin slot hooked in on these chains, and you just stick 25 cents in, and you just pull a chain to release a shopping cart. I didn't know how to do this because my mother was running her mouth about this, and she was very misleading to me about telling me how things work at Audie's. I mean, I had to figure things out on my own because the people there were rude and weird, and they treated me badly there. Okay, I asked this skinny girl there, hey, what do I do to unlock these shopping carts? She just reached in her pocket, didn't say anything. She just reached in her pocket, stuck a quarter in the slot, and pulled a chain to release the shopping cart. She just zipped away, and it happened so fast, and I didn't get a chance to see what she did. So I went and talked to a cashier and asked her, "What can I do to unlock these shopping carts?" She said, "You have to put 25 cents in. You have to pull a chain to unlock them." And so, okay, I went and found it, and I went and figured it out on my own. And this girl, who didn't show me the right way, she had the nerve to walk up to me and say this to me: "Sir, are you having problems shopping? Do you want to shop? Do you want to shop?" And I just ignored her and just stood there and figured out how to unlock those shopping carts. And I figured it out, and I did it on my own, and I was successful on this. Okay, I went and bought some produce there. Then when I went to the checkout counter, and it was weird. There was this girl. I mean, the cashiers, they sit in a chair at the checkout counter. It was kind of strange. When I got to the checkout counter, I mean, I noticed like I had to pay a fee to use a shopping cart to put all my groceries in, and pay for it and bag my own groceries to push a shopping cart out to the parking lot. And I told the cashier while I was paying for my groceries, I'm going to use this shopping cart. And she didn't say anything, and she was tight-lipped about it. Then I asked her, hey, after I got done paying for my groceries, I asked her, hey, I want to use this shopping cart, and I want to pay for a bag to bag my groceries in. And she showed me you had to go and pay it. You had to pay an 8-cent fee to get one of the bags. Okay, I got a bag, and she said, that's the wrong bag. It was misleading. She misled me and said, that's the wrong bag. You got to get a bag that you got to bag your groceries in. I think that's what she said. So I went and looked for the groceries, and she got up and walked up and went and got a paper bag so I can bag my groceries in. I grabbed her, and it was weird. She was just so ice cold. And I said, no, I got this. And she didn't say nothing. I grabbed her, and she was ice cold, and she turned back, and she walked back and sit in the chair at the checkout counter. I mean, she was like a zombie. She was just dead inside and cold. I mean, and women like that drive guys like Elliot Rodgers, George Soudini, and Nicholas Cruz to go in mass shootings. And Elizabeth Curry made some really good points in her video about how America is, about comparing America with Russia, and I got something to add to this. I got a text from my friend. Tell me about how America is. I can find it. Okay. Here's what he says. I'm not going to say his name. USA is a country run by psychopaths. The people are brain dead zombies. They have no clue as to why mass shootings and murder sprees happen. If you tell them the truth as to why it happens, they will try to deny it and say that you need to be on your prescription drug speech. Big pharma pills doesn't do anything good, and it's way more addicting, and it causes more damage in the long run. Getting all drowsy, lazy, and not being able to function properly. Taking all those pills isn't going to change what happens in your own environment. You are going to see the suicide rates skyrocket to the point where mainstream media will talk about why men are doing this. Oh, these men commit suicide because they just wanted to. And a bunch of lame excuses, and they will demoralize incels / TFO equal true forced loneliness sufferers. A loveless culture drives men to want to go on mass shootings and suicides. Got to get the hell out of the USA, the land of the bullies, home of the cowards.
Richard, I am not blind. I don't know why you have these feelings towards me, but as I previously stated, if there was anything that I did while in high school that may have upset you, I am sorry. I am fully aware of social issues that occur among us. You aren't the only one that has this awareness. Please don't confuse my small town upbringing with those of other people you have had a bad experience with. As for the video, if you want, you are welcome to send me a brief written summary. Otherwise, I do not plan to watch a 45-minute video of what I assumed is you ranting on just like you did above in your Facebook message to me. Unless you have nice things to do, have a great day and please leave me alone. Here's my response. I am not trying to be disrespectful, Eager. Well, what you are saying is fine. Again, deep down inside, I am a good person. You may not be trying to be disrespectful, but you are. I never said you aren't a good person. That said, have a nice day. Yeah, I remember Robert Mitchell. I didn't like that guy a lot. Laugh out loud. I don't think he liked white people. I only travel once a year, but I've never been out of the country. We travel when on vacation. I work a lot, so does my husband. I still talk to Justin Phoenix. I have talked to him since I got married too. I'm still friends with his sister. And I did not have a crush on you in high school, but I did have a crush on Justin Miles, and there was a time I had a crush on Michael Williams. Okay, here's my response. I guess you didn't like me. That's cool. I'm not mad. I didn't care for Robert anyway. I am friends with Justin Miles. Justin is cool. I like him. I feel bad for what I did to Michael Williams and you. I wanted to say I'm sorry.
And the dating culture in the USA sucks. That is why you are better going overseas. Western American women want to be like men. It's so bad in the USA that if you ever want to get love, then you are better off getting a pet cat or dog. All a cat or a dog wants is unconditional love. They will show you more unconditional love than any human being in the USA. I have to say that, but it's the truth. It's a damn shame that one has to get love from a pet and treat pets better than they treat humans. And And that is true. And I made some responses to that person. I told him what I went through at Aldi's at Tyler. Aldi's, a grocery store in Tyler. And here's my responses to what he texted me. Here's my text to him. I put my hands on a young white American woman and she didn't care. Now, this is from me explaining to you what I went through at Aldi's with one of the women there, the girls there. And here's his response to this. His response. Black American women ain't shit. They are the most angry, belligerent, most hostile people that you've ever encountered. A white woman is not as confrontational as a black woman. Yeah, but I went to a grocery store in Tyler and I didn't know how things worked there. I asked a skinny beanhead woman how to unlock shopping carts by sticking a quarter in a slot to unlock one. One woman didn't show me and did it real quick. A cashier ignored me when I told her, "Do I have to pay for using a cart?" and I am going to use it. You said the USA is a country run by psychopaths. People in America are a bunch of brain-dead zombies that don't have a clue why people like me and men who lose it get angry, cry, and feel depressed, alone, and go on mass shootings. I mean, I'm not going to go on mass shootings. I'm not going to do that. The women and girls in America suck. They are not sweet, feminine, and down to earth. They are rude, tight-lipped, heartless, and mean-spirited. You can't meet people, talk to people, make friends, and look at the women because America is a workaholic, strict society full of way too many laws and matrix bullshit. True, in Canada and the US, you can't talk to people in their 20s and 30s. You just talk to old people and show love to a cat and dog. American women showing love to a cat or dog and not to a lonely man or human is weird and fucked up. That is why people aren't living long in this piece of shit country that came out of Great Britain's ass as the 13 British colonies. If this country stayed loyal to the crown, maybe it won't be messed up. It is dangerous to bring a foreign woman who you are dating in America. A British woman by the name of Roxanne is married to an American man who served in the military. She has 2 boys by him. She was talking about life in the U.S. versus life in the U.S. versus life in the United Kingdom by talking about healthcare, education, meeting her husband in Los Angeles, being close to her family in England, politics that are a touchy subject, and other things. She came to America to get into acting and ended up moving to Tennessee. She talked about how different America is by traveling from Los Angeles to Tennessee. She lives in Tennessee. She also talked about the food in the U.S. and in England. If I tell someone like her about America, she will look at me like I'm crazy. She is brainwashed and doesn't care what the people in this country is doing to guys like me and you. I saw Roxanne, the British woman, on a YouTube video. Roxanne also talked about America is the land of opportunity. Well, guys like me and you were held down in Texas, and you have to be fake to make it in this country. I bet she doesn't care about that. This woman is British. yeah, me and this guy were held down in Texas because of our disability, and it sucks. So yeah, so everything Elizabeth Curry said about America and the U.S. through a comparison is true. So Russia is better than America. And before I end this video, I got a comment on one of my videos on my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, and it's from Cherry Bambi. And this is her comment: New Manchester, Europe. So, let me start over again. This is a comment from Cherry Bambi. New Manchester, Europe is better than Canada and North America by far. And that is true. Europe, every country in Europe, not all, is better than Canada, the United States, and other countries in North America. And yeah, Canada is a little better, scores higher than America on a lot of things, but that country has problems like radical feminism and and antisocial code cliquishness that it possesses, just like the U.S. So I think Canada wouldn't be a country for me to live in, and the United States wouldn't be a country for me to live in. So all I gotta say about this: Europe, here I come.